Hello YouTubies! This video is a reply to a video about the argument from Rationality. I have posted a link to the video I'm replying to in the description, and in that video a theist tries to explain rationality to the rest of us. So the theist argument goes like this. Does it make sense to trust something with a task vastly beyond what it was meant to do? He thinks not. Quick spoiler alert, he is wrong. Human beings have the ability to reason, but our brain is made of chemicals and stuff like that, which are governed by laws of nature, not by commitment to truth. And evolution selects according to ability to spread genes, not according to universal reasoning ability. So ability to think about cosmology doesn't get you laid or help you hunt. So according to him, this shows that you have to have God to explain how we can reason. But people with stained glass windows shouldn't throw stones in this particular controversy. Setting aside the merits of his actual argument, the first problem is that the theistic explanation doesn't really work. God is omnipotent, so he can change the laws of physics, and he seems kind of changeable and inconsistent, according to the Bible. So the existence of God is actually inconsistent with the world being comprehensible, because God might just decide at any time to change the laws of physics so that we all float toward the ceiling or turn into petunias or whatever. So examples of his inconsistency are God was sorry for the flood, in which he murdered the entire human species except for a few people on a boat. But then he turned around and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and he did lots of other killing in the Old Testament. And then in the New Testament, he kind of supposedly changed his mind, so he sent Jesus to be merciful to us. But then you look at Revelation and Jesus is going to come down from the sky and kill lots of people and do lots of horrible stuff. And of course, he's not going to be merciful to all of the people who will go to hell and be tortured for all eternity, according to the story. But, well, what are you going to say about this other than he can't even grasp that it's wrong to go around murdering and torturing people. So no particular reason to think that he's going to be very consistent in maintaining the laws of physics. By contrast, our best non-theistic explanations have a lot to say about why the world is comprehensible. So one example of this is emergence. Things that look complex if you consider their components and just think about how many there are and how they all interact with one another, can act in simple ways on a higher level. The result of this is that you don't have to understand everything at once. You can understand the world in a piecemeal fashion. For example, you can't compute the path of every water molecule in a kettle, but you can work out the boiling point of water by knowing things like the shape of the container it's in and the temperature and pressure of the atmosphere and other bulk properties of the water and its surroundings. Another thing that helps explain why the world is comprehensible is universality. it's often possible to simulate a large class of physical systems using a small set of operations. For example, any book composed of words in English can be printed by having lots of little blocks that fit together, each of which can print a single letter, and assembling the blocks in a page-size frame, movable type. There are many more profound examples of this kind in the theory of computation. Basically, computers can simulate any physical system. I'm not going to explain how that works in this video, but I have links in the description to books and stuff like that that explain how this works. So another thing that helps explain why the world is comprehensible is unintended consequences. Knowledge, that is useful or explanatory information of any kind, can apply to problems that it didn't evolve to solve. All knowledge is created by blind variation, that is variation that isn't aimed at the solution to the problem, because you can't aim it at the solution to the problem without knowing what the solution is. So you have blind variation followed by selection. As a result of the fact that variation is blind, the process of creating knowledge can't consistently aim you at only solving the particular problem you intended to solve when you started out, or the particular problem that that process was solving. As a result of this, the consequences of the unintended consequences of the creation of knowledge can't always be negative. They sometimes have to do things, good things, that they weren't intended to. So, as an example of how this can work, the laws of physics are the same everywhere. So, if you have the same conditions in different places or situations, then you can have the same solutions to a particular problem. So bird wings work just as well in Britain as in France. Next issue is human knowledge specifically. So human knowledge is created by processes involving variation and selection among memes, units of culturally transmissible information. Memes evolved because they allowed copying of behaviour, and the fact that you can now create knowledge about lots of stuff is an unintended consequence of that. We can have good memes about how to create knowledge. So, for example, the meme that it's a good idea to look for testable predictions of a good explanation, and to test them helps to sort good ideas from bad ones. And because we have the ability to copy memes, this can spread. So, in conclusion, theism is incompatible with the world being comprehensible. Good non-theistic explanations help to explain why the world is comprehensible, and understanding the world better involves having good ideas about how to create knowledge. Yay! So, goodbye.